welcome to another episode of the Motorsport Chat. I'm Natalie.
I'm Darcy.
And I'm Liv.
For the motorsport news this week, Lance Stroll has been confirmed to be racing in this weekend's Bahrain GP after a cycling incident left him unable to take part in pre-season testing.
The Canadian is on the road to recovery after having surgery on his right wrist to fix the issue.
Rumours had been flying around the paddock that Aston Martin's reserve driver and remaining Formula 2 champion, Felipe Drugovich, would be taking his place after also partaking in testing last week.
Stroll said he was frustrated at not being able to compete testing, but is looking forward to the rest of the season ahead and felt like he focused on his recovery.
Susie Wolff has been appointed as managing director of the all-new F1 Academy, which will see 16 female drivers take to the track.
Her focus for the series is to develop further female motorsport talent, as well as creating more paths and opportunities to the higher categories in the sport.
The Spanish GP has a new look for the 2023 season, with the turn 14 chicane being removed.
This will make the final sector a lot faster with the return of the downhill right-hander.
It's something that's been in talks for a while down at the FIA and will hopefully mean better racing at the Circuit de Barcelona. Catalunya. The runoff at turn 1 has also been extended.
The first free practice session of the new F1 season will be starting in around 15 minutes, and ahead of that will be the new Formula 1 intro, which we got to see yesterday. It's been playing behind us, so what's the thoughts on it?
I love it. I think it's great. It's a bit more fun and light-hearted. I think they're playing around with it a bit more. There's a lot of looking down at the floor.
Yeah.
I like how they've got the names on it as well.
Yeah.
I think that's a lot better. I just think graphically it looks so much better than last year, and I'm really loving it.
Everyone loves George Russell.
You do.
What a king.
I mean, he just does not look right on there.
Yeah.
And at least Max's smile is a bit better this year. He looks a bit more serious and like he's ready to,
I think with the names as well, maybe it's because of there's more new fans and because there's a lot of rookies. So we've got Nick De Vries, Logan Sargent, Oscar Piastri. Maybe it's sort of a good thing that they're having that so that new fans can see I know which driver is which. So
yeah, definitely, and it's in the reverse championship order from last year.
Yeah,
it makes sense. I think it's better because people can work out who the drivers are, what's happening, especially for new people watching. It makes sense.
Yeah,
they've done it
absolutely.
So this weekend, the 2023 F1 season will begin at the Bahrain International Circuit in Sakir. The track is 5.4 kilometres long, with the Grand Prix on Sunday lasting 57 laps.
The lap record is a 1:31.4, but who will take the top spot on the podium this weekend?
Last year, this circuit provided a great race with Verstappen and Leclerc battling it out, swapping the lead all throughout the race. Leclerc did end up taking the win.
However, with Max winning the championship, the Bahrain curse seems to remain. But will it happen this year?
Let's quickly make our predictions about who we think will finish in the top 3 this season.
Well, top 3. We've written everything down because we wanted to.
Yes.
We wanted to have a look.
Yes.
So for F1, for the overall season, top 3, Darcy, who did you say?
Yep, so in terms of the season, I've gone quite basic. I think Verstappen, then Leclerc and Hamilton. I think Mercedes, Red Bull and Ferrari will still be the top 3 teams. I know there's a lot of speculation around Aston Martin at the minute, maybe being in the top 4, sort of top of the midfield, but that's what I'm thinking for the F1 season ahead.
I think that's a quite safe top 3.
Yeah.
I get it. It makes sense from what we've seen, what we heard. Liv, you've put Leclerc, Verstappen, Alonso.
I have, but I just hope that Alonso gets
it.
Yeah.
I think pre-season testing has made people think that Aston Martin are going to be at the top, like you said.
Yeah.
So I think putting Alonso up there doesn't seem too bold. Yeah, I think he could possibly do it. I put that it would be Verstappen, Leclerc and Alonso.
Okay.
So the same as you. But I do think Verstappen's going to do it.
Yeah, he seems happy, he seems confident at Aston Martin at the minute, so just see where it takes him, I guess.
Probably another year for Red Bull from the looks of it.
Yeah.
So overall, I think it looks like it's going to be a Verstappen. Yeah. So, okay, now let's move on to Bahrain predictions.
Yes.
Okay, so Darcy, you put that you think Verstappen will get the win.
Yeah, I think Verstappen pole position, then he'll win the race as well.
Yep.
And then I've gone a bit, maybe off track. I've gone with Russell second and Alonso third on the podium.
Yeah.
So a bit of a bold prediction from me. But
Russell?
Yeah.
I think that's quite a bold prediction.
I've got a
very
good
bold
feeling.
prediction.
Yeah.
I've got a good feeling about him this season.
I don't know what it is, but for some reason I just don't think Mercedes are going to be up there yet. From the sounds of it, they're going to bring in some updates.
Yeah.
Towards the beginning of the season.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
it'll be interesting to see what the pace is like in the first race. So, what do we think about McLaren? Because it seems like they're having a lot of issues.
100%.
Do we think that they're going to improve quickly or they're going to struggle throughout the season?
I
hope
think
they
that it just shows that...
McLaren for much longer.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Yeah.
I just have a feeling that I can see him going to Red Bull.
Yeah.
If, something goes wrong.
100%. Yeah, me too. I mean, the rookies on the grid, there's quite a few this season.
Yeah.
So we've got, obviously, Oscar Piastri, Logan Sargent, Nick De Vries. I mean, Hülkenberg's not really a rookie, but he's come back.
Yeah.
So I think all eyes will be on them, really.
Yeah.
Especially, like, Logan Sargent coming from F2. He didn't win the championship, but he is in the seat, so...
I think he's making it quite clear that he's the American driver on the grid. He's going to bring the American fans with him.
Yeah.
He's creating quite a brand for himself as this American F1 driver. And I think with 3 American races, it's going to be...
it's going to be a big one.
It's going to be big for him, but he didn't win F2.
Yeah.
No.
Drugovich did, and he's not on the grid.
He's not.
Yeah, well, there was talk of him possibly replacing Stroll, but now obviously
This
Stroll's
weekend.
had, had the surgery and he's back, so yeah.
I think that, in my opinion, he should have waited longer. If he's still got metal pins in his wrist, I think that's a
Just
big
to
risk
miss
putting
one
him in the
race,
car.
I think the pressure on your wrist when you are driving
Yeah.
is insane. It's not going to be... His recovery is not going to...
Especially with Saudi,
well.
like in a couple of weeks' time. That's a tough race, and, you know, if he's still not feeling right, then not a great
Felipe
decision.
Drugovich, get Drugovich in the car. Definitely. I think he deserves a race this season.
100%.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see how quickly Stroll recovers, if he does well this weekend or not. But, so for me this weekend, I think that it's going to be Verstappen, Sainz and Leclerc.
Sainz above Leclerc?
Sainz above Leclerc.
Okay.
I don't know why. It's just a bit of a bold one, I think.
Yeah.
I think Sainz did amazing last year, and a lot of people didn't put him as highly as I think they should have done.
Yeah.
I think Leclerc is probably above him, but not as much as I think everyone else puts him. I think he might possibly get this weekend, do well. But Leclerc did well at this track last year. He won, he got pole.
Yeah.
So, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a close one. Okay, so moving on to Formula 2
Yes.
now. So, Darcy, for your top 3 this year, who do you think is going to be at the top?
So, top 3 for F2, I've gone Jack Doohan, Teo Porcher, and then Ollie Behrman. So Ollie Behrman's obviously a rookie, but I've heard a lot of good things about him. Obviously, good F3 campaign as well. So, that's what I'm thinking. I think Jack Doohan as well. I think it's his time. I think he's got a very good chance at winning the F2 championship this season.
I think last year he showed that he was capable of doing it.
Yeah.
Capable of being at the top, so I think he could get there. Liv, you said Porsche, Behrman and Hauger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just think Porsche just raced so well last year.
Yeah.
And I just think he's got it in the bag, honestly.
Definitely.
I think he's going to do it.
Another French driver in. So I think I've put Doohan, Porsche and Hauger. I think it would be great to see Hauger. He did so well in F3. He dominated when he won.
Yeah.
So it would be good to see him at the front of the grid. I think he could possibly get P3 maybe.
Yeah.
Because he did well last year. I'm hoping to see a few wins from him. Pocher and Doohan, I agree with you. I think Doohan will do really, really well this year.
Yeah.
I think he's got a lot of backing behind him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of people supporting him, so I think it will be good to see him do well.
I mean, he's part of the Alpine Academy, and then we've obviously got Pocher as part of Alfa Romeo. You know, will there be a seat opening up there? Will Bottas go somewhere else, or you know, do something like Raikkonen did? You know,
definitely.
Could be good to see what he does after.
I think Bottas seems very content at Alfa Romeo.
He does.
Yeah.
He seems very
He looks
happy.
like he's having the best time. His
does.
helmet.
Oh,
I
love
did
What
it.
do you
like
think
it.
about his helmet? You
I
did
thought it was-
like
I thought it
it.
was disturbing. I thought it was so weird.
I loved it, his little mullet. I
Well,
think it looked great.
When he was out in testing and then he got out of the car and you got to see his helmet in full action walking around, it's bizarre. It looks like he's some sort of
It's like a bobblehead.
a
It's like
bobblehead
massive head.
character.
Yeah.
I love it. I feel like it fits his personality. He's come
Yeah.
out of his shell a lot more this
He
year.
has, I
I
agree.
think this new team's worked better for him. There's less pressure on him to do well, but I think he'll still perform. But
Yeah.
he's not really got the car to be winning at the moment. Do you think that he's going to stick around until Audi join in F1?
I've got a feeling he's in for the long haul.
Yeah, me too.
I've got a feeling about it.
I agree with that.
Yeah.
I think he's going to stay
I think
for as
that
long as he can.
it's like Danny Rick says, it's like he's still interested in F1. That's where, you know, his heart lies. So
Yeah.
I think Bottas is the same. I think that's where it's at for him. So.
Definitely. Lately, there's been a lot of aggravation from Hamilton because of the amount of questions he's been getting about his retirement.
Yeah.
I feel sorry for him because it's constant asking about when you're going to retire, when you leave in F1, but then you don't get other drivers getting the same questions.
like
Alonso.
Yeah.
He doesn't get it.
Similar age.
No.
To me, I feel bad for him because I think he's showing that he can still perform in the sport.
Yeah.
And I don't know why he would.
Yeah.
Why should he?
Yeah, why should he leave if he's
Must be
doing
frustrating
well?
for him.
He's still
Now,
got it
let's
in
go
him.
over our top 3 over Formula 3.
Yes.
Okay, so Darcy, you've said Gregoire Saucy, Zach O'Sullivan, and Dino.
Yeah. So, I mean, again, in F3, a lot of rookies.
Yeah.
I think, like we were saying earlier, we were saying that sort of F2 is very close to F1, but F3 is sort of a little bit, you know, not as sort of close to the other series.
Yeah.
But I think F3 is just that kind of series where the drivers are allowed to make mistakes. They're allowed to sort of see how they're feeling. But yeah, got a good feeling about Gregoire Saucy this season.
I think he'll do well. So, Liv, you said Saucy, Aaron and Browning. Now, Browning was announced a couple of days ago.
Yeah.
A new British driver. I think he's going to do well. I've said for my predictions for the top 3, I think Zach O'Sullivan will win the championship. That's my prediction. I think Montoya, who's a rookie, will do. I think he's going to do well. I think a lot of people will be supporting him. Big name.
Yeah.
So possibly. And Browning, again, I do think he's going to do well.
I think he will.
Interesting signing, I think.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
Sort of come from nowhere. I mean, he took part in testing and then he literally, like you said, got announced a few days ago. So quite a late, you know, sort of announcement, but...
Definitely.
Yeah.
The F3 season last year was very competitive. It was very close.
Yeah.
It was.
Everything was very intense, but obviously F3 is like that. It's very unpredictable compared to F1 and F2.
Yeah, exactly.
A lot less unpredictable. So
exciting.
this could go anywhere really. We don't know
It
where
could,
this is going to go,
yeah.
but
Absolutely.
yeah, pretty much. Well, that's all we have time for today.
Check us out on Instagram at the Motorsport Chat.
Goodbye.
Goodbye.